Welcome to the Reality or Not podcast with your boy DJ Reality and your boy Brian Clancy from Nothing New Under the Sun. What's up, Brian?
Ain't not much, man. How you doing? We in location. The birthplace. This is where I learned the whole story to I'm bad. We
Oh,
watched that
yeah,
video
I
how
remember
many
the
times?
video,
Right
recording
here,
it. Yeah.
right here.
Putting the stereo up to the TV, just to record it on tape. Just
Shoot.
waiting for the video to come on.
Yeah, recording that on VHS and then being able to articulate that whole thing.
All moves, head like a Sharks fan, all that stuff.
Jelly bean crushing. Like how you catch that jelly bean, right? Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
impossible.
Right.
Oh man, yeah, it's hot. Ain't no HVAC in here, so we doing it for y'all. But thank you all for tuning in. And then Brian, you want to jump right into it?
Oh yeah, I'm ready to jump right into it. But I forgot to tell everybody how I was doing.
Yeah, my
And
bad.
so
Yeah, how you doing today?
just to make sure everybody know, I'm blessed and impressed with the life that God gave me. I know I say that a lot because I mean it. Like, to be trials and tribulations and everything in your life. But like my granny used to say, I could tell you my knee hurt, but then at least I got a knee.
Yeah,
So
you got two of them. Shoot, as long as
right,
you can walk on,
right.
walk
So
on one of them.
I
Throw
ain't
yourself a cane and some drugs, and
right.
you'll be all right.
I ain't complaining about this life. I'm just trying to make sure I understand my path in it.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm
Yeah.
doing pretty good too. Like I said, good energy. You can always, like I said, cry about pain here and there, but shoot, who want to hear it? I don't. I care less.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. And being in the hometown, we get that a lot. I'm glad you're back. I'm glad we in person, so no split screen.
yeah.
So tell them what's going on, Sean.
All right. Well, let's jump right into it. We want to talk about certain things. We already talked about whether it's career, whether it's life, relationships, etc. So one of the things we wanted to jump into is being a manager versus being a leader. Brian, how do you feel like that fits within your life as far as your career or within or just from a life perspective?
Well, I want to bring it back to the original thing, right? So it was
Hmm.
a manager versus being a manager, or the difference between the manager.
Oh, I tripped out. No, because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
went too fast. Being a manager versus being a worker.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So,
Hmm.
so I think you got to understand both parts. Everybody been in the school project where it was a team project and didn't want to be the leader because they didn't want to be responsible for everything. But a worker got to play their part. You so sometimes you got to follow to be able to lead, so you can know what you don't like in in a leader or a manager or whatnot. So I think I am proud to be my own worker right now because like I gotta wear many hats, so I can be mad at me for not getting this stuff with the alumni stuff done. But
Hmm.
hey,
Look, you can only do so much. I mean, the bottom
yeah,
line is, and this is one thing, like for me, when you talking about being a worker and like building and like everybody doing their part, the hardest part is when somebody ain't doing their part. That means you got to pick it up because it don't stop, right?
right,
I mean, it still go be this has to get done by this time, or this has to be created by this time. And I just think sometimes people don't understand that within their career. They're more so like, I mean, sometimes it used to be long nights for me at times, working like just to make sure that I had the visibility within the company to be successful. So I can't say, well, if I tell someone that the date is going to be, it has to get done by July 4th, I can't get to July 3rd and be like, well, I mean, it ain't going to happen. But at the same time, if I know June 16th that this project is not going to get to where it's going to get just because of lack of resources or time or et cetera, then I can let you know the higher the hierarchy or the leadership team understand that okay, this is where we're going, just to mentally prepare, because a lot of people wait until the last minute to say, well, I can't do this,
well
or da, da, da.
let's point it out for real
Mhm,
because that's the project management coming out in you, right?
mhm,
Because you I mean you see the burn down chart, right? You see the
mhm,
burn down chart and you're like, yo, like these are resources I got available. You checking in with resources and making sure that like being that like break down that part because you kind of alluded to it, but
Hmm.
being a part of that project management team
Hmm.
and seeing and being proactive.
Yeah, no, definitely. Look,
You know what I'm
and this
saying?
is what we talked about last time: being proactive rather than reactive. Understanding what you can and can't do, because most businesses or most leadership, etc., understand that okay, we're all trying to piecemeal things together, whether it's your own business, whether it's within a company. Like a companies are hiring less people and making people do more, so in that scenario you just got to understand how to pace it out. And I mean, yeah, I mentioned the burn down chart. It's like these things are things that you're looking at to see, well, this is the amount of hours versus what we were able to accomplish within a certain time frame. So not understanding that is like your first downfall. But your burn, like, you don't necessarily have to. I mean, burn out you a burn rate chart. Like, you don't have to have that directly in front of you, but it's important to understand what, like, if you have it up here, to be able to voice that to whoever is over your project, or even to yourself. Because if you say, hey, look, you can have a burn rate chart of just saying, hey, um
Well, I'm gonna
I
tell you.
need to
Like,
do this within my house.
wait a second.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you before you talk to them like they're 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say talk to them like I don't want to dumb down, I just want you to peel back the layers. Burn down chart is based on tasks, and then like break down the how you get to the burn down and what a burn down rate is to
Mm-hmm.
people that may not know. When because what Shantae is doing, he talked about people playing their part. But when you're a project manager and you go to management to let them know what's going on with that project, like there, he has concrete data to show where he's at, and he's always getting updates. So
Yeah.
like
Mm-hmm.
break down that process for us.
Yeah, so look at it like this, right? So say for instance you have a project that you want to have completed within, I'll just say, 8 weeks. You have, I'm gonna say workers. I don't want to say developers. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds, but you have workers that can do, I'll say, 4 days of work, because 4 days of work is technically almost a week, but you're looking at it as this is what you can do within a 2 week span. So they're able to commit 4 days of work out of their 10 days of moving to the next process. We call them sprints, but moving to that 2 week sprint. So you can do 4 days out of 10 weeks, right? So, say for instance, 4 days, 8 hours a day. It doesn't really work out like that. But say for instance, you have 4 times 32 hours. So you have 32 hours to be able to commit for that project, for that person within 2 weeks, and you have 8 weeks to do it. Say for instance, you have, and we're going to say 4 people that can work on it. So 4 days, 4 people, 32 hours, 64, 128 hours that you're able to commit for that on a 2 week cycle. So within that 2 week cycle, say for instance, you're trying to get it done within 8 weeks. You have 128 hours, and sorry if I'm going too fast. You have 128 hours, 256, 512 hours that you would be able to dedicate within that time frame. But if the project ends up taking, or you spec it out, you say the project is going to take, as an example, is going to take 600 hours. That means that you either need more support,
More resources.
yeah, more resources and more support, or you have to push the deadline. Just because you already know what you
They
can and
set
can't
you
do.
up for failure already,
Yeah,
right? So like
yeah.
you only have 512 hours available, 500 some hours available, but you expect it out to be at least 600. And
Hmm.
then what what a good project manager will do, they'll add some buffer in there
Hmm.
because you're a rock star when you finish it before time. You're a terrible project manager
Hmm.
when you finish it after time, right? Especially if they don't know that is coming. Like,
I mean, but no, you brought up a good point. Add buffer to your projects, because anything can happen. Any network can go down, COVID, uh,
hurricane.
right, like, and all of these things impact the business. So, as an example, within the 512 hours, and you're saying it's going to be 600, you already know that you can't be able to get it done within the 8 weeks. So that's where you start talking to people and saying, hey, we need to do this. We need to figure out this resource. We need to add more hours over here. And most of the time is within the the teams that I've been working with is not a overtime thing. So it's not like they're gonna want to work past that window that they already have, and plus they have other projects that they're working on in the first
Right.
place.
And a good
So,
manager will look at the tasks because, like, what you broke it down to was like on the hourly thing.
hmm
I've seen people break it down on the well, a lot of times with us it's been a task based thing and how
hmm
many hours based on those tasks.
hmm
And so what a
But
project
that's a little bit
manager,
deeper because that's where you get into like your Jiras and
yeah,
where
yeah.
you have like a board to
But
say,
that's where you
well,
get your burn down chart at. Like
yeah,
you
yeah,
get your velocity and your burn down chart and
hmm
stuff like that.
hmm
So you can tell the manager when you get those updates that hey, we on schedule, we a little bit behind schedule, but
hmm
we're gonna take the testing part out of this period,
hmm
and we feel like it'll be better added to the end. So we'll save time doing that. Like a good manager will be there to support you and will have these things that you learn to
hmm
help because like being a worker, I'm gonna just take it back to where we were being a worker. Sometimes you feel like you don't have the resources to do what you need to be able to have done,
hmm
and being able to talk to the team manager or the team or the project manager and say, hey, look, like I've been waiting for these privileges for such and such, I can't get it, it's a hot button for me. I can't get my work done. It's a blocker. What you gonna do about it, right?
hmm
So like being a worker part is still you
Wait,
still
wait.
got to manage.
Before you go into that, talk about the blocker, like what that means, because you had mentioned. I mean, everybody should know what that means, but you had mentioned it. That's a great thing, and this is what can impede your project. But go ahead.
Yeah. So
So.
when Sean was talking about the things that go wrong, like you get on a project and let's say like I worked on a couple government projects and everything is really access granted type things. But then sometimes people don't know how you get access to certain resources.
hmm
So if I need SharePoint Drive, I need access to the AEM manager. Like I have to contact somebody to do it, right?
hmm
But if don't nobody know how to contact somebody to do it,
hmm
where am I left at? So you try to do your due diligence, but you end up emailing people. But those blockers are
Yeah, that
things that
stops you. Yeah. It.
stop me from being able to complete my task. When I told you, I said, "Hey, it's going to take me about 4 hours to do this,
hmm
but if I don't have access to the SharePoint or if I can't read the object files on the cloud, then it's going to take me a lot longer."
Yeah. And one. So say for instance, two. Say for instance, if you have another blocker, could be if someone else hasn't completed what they need to complete before you could even start. Now that's time loss where you can't, or a blocker where you can't get to that part of your project to be able to be completed. So now, say for instance, like you have, we said 4 hours or 4 hours each day, right? You're waiting on another part of the process to be completed before you can move forward. That means that while you're waiting, you're losing time.
I
So,
got an also awesome example. Be doing this with the donut shop and
mhm,
hikes. I needed a permit.
mhm.
I couldn't
Oh,
get. I
red tape is the
can't.
ultimate blocker. It's
I
like,
couldn't get. I can't get my framers. I can't get my designers. I can't get everything for my building done until that permit to that permit is done.
mhm,
So like when I'm waiting on, and that's not even in my wheelhouse, right? That's
mhm,
not even in my wheelhouse. But as the permit travels through the city process,
mhm,
and I'm stuck doing holding the bag, paying these costs to keep a building up. You realize that hey, what a good manager say, hey, what can I get done? Like
mhm.
if I can get some outside landscaping done to make it do that, you can try that. But like yeah, when you have things that's not in your wheelhouse and you trying to get stuff done, that's one of the things that can hold you up, and it's not even your fault. And hopefully management understands that. But Shantae would be the project manager to go back to the management and say, hey, this is our blocker.
Yeah. And imagine within that, you're trying to build within your shop. They tell you, well, you can't build without, or you can't put anything, you can't do, I don't know, baseboards or put up beams or anything like that
Yeah, I
while
can't.
you're waiting, but you're paying people. And luckily, I mean, most likely you're contracting, but I mean, you don't have anybody coming in every day that you hired as a construction company or anything like that. But if like you have, like if you were paying someone on a regular basis to come in and put the beams or come in and paint or do all of these things with that
Yes,
permit.
that dependency is pushing my framers back. It's
Mhm,
pushing my drywall back. It's
mhm.
pushing my 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 heat and cooling, my HVAC people back. All that is being
And it
pushed back.
costs.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah,
that,
yeah,
and that's what I tell people all the time. Like it ain't, starting a business or trying to do these things. Understand that in order, like is not easy without having finances or having money behind you, because everything costs. I mean, you can probably have your shop up and running without permits, within time. I mean, within a week or two. Just say, hey, go in there, build this, da da da, do this, da da da, check this, da da da. But with the permits, you're talking water, you're talking everything that you got to have, be able to source out your building. Like that's gonna, take even more time to be able to build it up the way that you, or the way that the city requires you to do it.
And so
So.
then when people talk about pricing and stuff, a lot of times you trying to get that back on the back end. So I mean, because all this stuff got to be paid for.
Yeah.
So the pricing is on the back end, and like when you say why does a coffee cost $5,
Mm-hmm.
it's not, the coffee probably costs maybe let's say 80 cents,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the
But you
it's
got to
the
make money.
infrastructure, it's the
You got to make
infrastructure
money. I mean,
around making the
the bottom
coffee,
line is
right,
making money.
right,
I mean,
right.
a lot of people don't understand that, and it's kind of pivoting, but I'm cool with it. Is understanding how do you make money? Is like you have to have a product, and then you have to be able to, because they say most businesses, like I think it's like 90% or 80, 85 or 90%, might be even more, close within their
Fail in the
first
first
year.
year, yeah,
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 and can you imagine, like, and then you get one person like, man, why does coffee cost so much?
right,
Or
right.
like, I mean, and we will give our money to a Starbucks and be like, well, I gotta have my Starbucks coffee in the morning, but then that coffee is, I mean, nothing is. I drink Starbucks from time to time, but at the same time is like we will say, well, why does he charge? Who does he think he is? Starbucks.
Yeah, right, right. But let's go back. Let's go.
Mhm, mhm,
Let's bring that into this to the conversation,
mhm,
because Starbucks started with a process. They got a process. They put it together where you go to any Starbucks and it's the same. You got the same model and stuff like that,
mhm,
but they put the time in, right?
mhm,
They put the time in, and like
mhm,
you said,
mhm,
like what we was talking about, time waits for no man. So while I'm doing what I do, trying to get my coffee shop up, I I love Starbucks model, because Starbucks is like they getting people paying $8-10 for coffee. I
mhm,
don't want you to pay that much for coffee,
mhm.
but if it costs that much, it costs that much.
But people are convinced that they have to have Starbucks coffee, and it's like what makes them
that
think that
that's
they
because
have to have.
that's because he put the time in it and the
Mhm,
branding, and now like it is a thing to be a Starbucks person, right? Starbucks is synonymous with hippie coffee, like you like the in crowd coffee. And I
but I'm
mean,
saying against you, like, so I'm saying, like, say for instance, you start your business, it's gonna be it, and you're probably you're gonna do smarter things just because you learn, you see what the process already is. So
right,
having more resources to yourself, you can, or more resources available to you, you're going to create a business model based off, not necessarily based off of there, but you're going to take the lessons learned from what they did, and then you're going to do it a better way. But the problem is when they look at you and say, well, why is he starting a pizza company? Because we got scripts.
right.
It's
And he in
like,
Italian. Again, time waits for no man and no woman. So like what I have to do is I have to execute. So like I don't
mhm,
have the privilege of being having a lot of resources. I got the privilege of saying, hey, this is what I got, this is what I work with. And the part of that is I don't have to be like, and I know we talked about this before, but like you want to let your light shine, but I probably won't be the face of my coffee shop. I probably won't be the face of the donut shop, and I'm saying that because Starbucks, what's my man name I forgot.
That's what matters. You don't even know.
Yeah,
And like no
I
no
know
no no
because
no. I'm saying
yeah,
we know as far as being like
yeah,
what he owns and
because
stuff like that. But I'm saying like
yeah,
people in general don't know who the president, CEO, or the starter of Starbucks is. They just know that I have to have a Starbucks coffee because I'm out grocery shopping, and I don't know. I didn't have time to make coffee at home. I don't.
right,
So
right. So I have to build a brand that makes people comfortable with with my coffee and with my and I'm gonna tell you, Sean, I want to do the whole community environment type thing because
mhm,
like being born and raised here, my whole job is to make sure that the same people that's born and raised here have an opportunity to follow in my footsteps and higher. So
mhm,
so I'm hoping I'm counting on that environment.
mhm,
I'm not counting on the community to help me.
mhm.
I'm asking them
Yeah,
for
don't
the
do
help.
that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm asking them for help, but at the same time, I'm a it's community focused. And like I said, I have artwork and
Mhm.
stuff from my people for us
Yeah.
by us,
Mhm.
and we just see where it rolls, right?
Yeah, that's always I mean, you want to make sure that, I mean, not that you're loved around your community, but at the same time, if you're going to build something within the community, it's supported by the community, which means that you're incorporating the community, like you said, through artwork and through all of these things, and making sure that they're involved because that's important to grow a business. I mean, if you're just trying to do it isolated all by yourself, it tends to be a struggle. And not to say that you can't do it that way, but having that backing only
I,
makes it that much better.
well, let's bring it back to Starbucks. I think Starbucks created a culture, right? They created a
Mhm.
culture of around coffee, and like I'm creating a coach. I'm tapping into the culture around my coffee shop, right?
Mhm.
Because the culture in the community in which it's in, it's been kicked on and stepped on and spit on, right?
Mhm.
So I ain't saying it's my job, but I'm saying that I want to give it a try
Yeah, do what you
to
can.
say
I mean, that's the only
say
thing you can do in life. Is like, hey, look, I tried it. I remember I was like I always mention the Ti thing when he built up. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna give low income housing to all of the people in Atlanta, and then he bought all the houses, and then he had people not paying him or not paying him rent. He had stuff being stolen out of his house and or out of the houses and stuff like piping and things of that nature. And then people saying, well, you got this. Sometimes we look at our people the wrong way. We're like, well, you got this money, well, why can't you do it? And it's like, well, no, I can't. I don't want to exhaust all my funds. um I mean, we should do this to get, like, you're gonna pay this person, like, back to Starbucks, you're gonna pay this person $8. Help pay me pay me $8 for my coffee. I think my coffee is just as quality as theirs. It is not. I mean, depending on the ground or whatever, but no one cares about um when they go into Starbucks, they say, hey, give me a caramel latte, and
yeah,
like,
as long as the quality is there, it's there.
yeah.
But like
Hmm.
we just had the draft, right? And
Hmm.
and what I'm going to tap on is what you were just talking about.
Hmm.
Our community expecting more from us, right? Or
Hmm.
our community expecting us to do more for them.
Hmm.
Is the other way to see it, right?
Hmm.
So when them young men, and I love watching the NBA draft in particular because there's a lot of single mothers. There's a lot of, and I love to see them go and embrace and the mothers. I see the joys and stuff,
Hmm.
and the mother's face and stuff. And now you see it, and like I was watching a podcast with Michael Beasley, and like he was like, "I'm taking care of my whole family," and they were stealing from me.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's yeah.
uh,
You can only do so much for every,
but to peel it back is that black men have a lot of responsibility. That's why some of us run. I'm not giving them a pass on that, but some of them run for the hills because they can't handle the responsibility.
Mhm.
And I just
No,
want
it's too
people to
much to carry on your
understand
shoulder at times,
it is, but
and
like
everybody don't have to do it. That's why I ain't got no kids.
that's why that's a
I'm not tied to no responsibility of of child support or having to do this for whatever reason. I can do the things that I want to do, and if I have to blame somebody, I blame myself. You know.
I mean, even with kids, it's you can have the same
Yeah,
yeah.
but at the same time, people can, like. I'm not saying every scenario with people having kids. I'm saying
Yeah,
the
I'm just
scenarios I've seen and heard about make me reluctant to even consider it. You
Man,
know,
having kids are a beautiful thing, man. So you
nah,
have
I'm not gonna
go
deny
ahead and
that.
have three of them real quick. And,
Fuck them niggas. I'm cool.
I mean, it's like my son's birthday was yesterday, so like I feel some type of way about my parents and him. I thought he had a better shot at being great
Mhm.
than what he's putting his foot forward to. But like, man, it's a community project. So
Yeah,
if anybody in my community want to help me guide my son to being gainfully
yeah. I think
employed,
he'll figure it out, man. I'll say this about it. Like the one that whole fork in the road. You either gonna like I don't see him um as a person that was I'm going to resort to violence.
right?
So it's like, well,
I mean, he
he,
got more sense than that,
yeah,
but it's
yeah.
just
So he's built different in the sense that he knows how to. He's figuring it out. Like at 22, I mean, I was figuring out at school, but I still didn't know what I was doing.
yeah, but
We were thrown out
it's
there.
a different level. Yeah, like
I'm
yeah,
saying
yeah,
like he has you.
yeah.
Like we were thrown out there. Hey, go to school, and that shouldn't. I didn't know what to do after school.
Yeah,
And luckily I found like with DJing that worked out where I started my first year at school. Well, summer of my first year. Um, I was doing it from a not a hobby, but it was kind of like, oh, well, I can DJ too. I mean, I know music, so why not try it? And that was like kind of, and it ended up growing from there. It wasn't as if I was looking to quote unquote monetize it, but it'd have been great if I thought about monetizing it initially, because I would have grown a lot faster than I did because I didn't, start really doing anything for anybody until, maybe like 2 or 3 years after I had already, been, I'll not say seasoned, but I had already learned the craft or started where I was building up within the craft. So
and now you DJing all over the United States, right?
now look
Yeah.
at that. We talk about entry level and stuff like that. Like this is this is me creating my own entry level
So
and not even knowing.
yeah, so but you stepped on something that we were talking about. Time not waiting for nobody, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, how do you feel like that played a part in your DJing? Do you think that if you would have got on it, like, how did timing play? How did you feel about time? Was the timing right for you to DJ, or did like you had to learn the ropes? Or like, how does that fit into? Because like I'm telling you, my son, I feel like his timing is off. Like he should be further along than what he had a better head start than I ever had. So I
No, but
just
the thing is, and I'll go into my process, but I think that for him, he's 22. What I was doing at 22, like I said, I was DJing and stuff like that. I was just really starting to get popping with DJing, but like the only thing and this is where we talk about with kids. I couldn't have had a kid at 22. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have known what I was doing. Like, and I would have literally probably dropped out of school, not knowing, what I know now. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
that's the difficult. Like, he needs to find his way, as in, like, hey, I mean, you got him in tech. I mean, he understands that he has a foundation where he knows he can do this, but he's trying to do it his way.
He figure out if he wants to do it, like right. So like, and I'll give you some background on this because like
Hmm.
my son has been working with me uh, back when I was back when I do like
I think you said he was like 16, 15
he been he
working.
been doing he been doing projects with me. He been doing the
He
contracts
was
with
like
me since
working.
16. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like
So
he's been doing that and deployments and mapping shared drives and
hmm
printers and stuff like that. And like so again, I never had that experience, and I could never tell anybody that at 16 I was doing that, right?
and you
But
would have welcomed it.
oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
If somebody would have been like, "Yo, you get out here, you can make $20 an hour
hmm
doing this," even if they're spread out, because at
hmm
the time they're spread out. But yeah, he's working at PNC.
hmm
We did three of them in 2 days. Like
hmm
we deployed. So he has that experience. But time waits for nobody. You have to activate because like the way I see it, and like the way I see it is that you tomorrow ain't promised, and
at all.
you need to figure out if you're gonna do something, you need to figure out and do your craft. Like we're in the process of buying an apartment house.
Hmm.
It's 3 bedroom, three 1 bedroom apartments right
Hmm.
here on Monroe, actually.
Hmm.
Uh, and I'm like, yo, now I need work. But he seen me go into a house and gut it and do all this stuff in it, and he, did some tiling and helped me with some flooring. So he think he good enough to. I, I think he seen the money and was like, yo, I could do this, right?
Hmm.
And he sees the opportunity in housing and seeing how much people paying for rent, and he want to be an owner. I'm glad that he's doing that, but like you don't have forever, and like it's a you got to have the job to
Hmm.
get to have the income to get it. 800 credit with no employment is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm. Hmm.
like
Yeah.
so you can go get a car. They'll let him get a car, any car he want,
Hmm.
uh, with no job. But then when he talk about a house, they want to know how he gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
Uh,
History.
yeah,
Yeah, you gotta have some hit, but
I,
but I'm saying just imagine like he has it, he has the foundation. So some not like if it's spoiled or anything like that, but he knows what he's capable of, but he's trying to figure out what he wants to do, if that makes sense. Like he knows, hey, look, I can run this apartment building, I can um do this coding, reimaging, whatever you want him to do. He knows that he's capable of it, but it's like how does he get there? How did how can he capitalize on what he knows for what he wants to do?
man, that's the hardest part because like as a father, I've been there with his hands on it, like
Mhm.
showing him with his hands on it. I've said, okay, now you figure it out. Try to give him the space to figure it out, and I've been there where it's been like, hey, you know everything, you got it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like, that's the hard part about it,
No, I think
because
it's dope that you. I mean, like I said, if we had that, it would have been a easier road. I didn't have that. I didn't have a hey. I mean, I got cussed out when I bought my turntables, and it didn't even come out her pockets. So it was like, well, what are you buying turntables for? You don't need that, blah blah blah. Now you borrow money from me. Now I'm here cleaning your house, trying to get your shit together based off of money I've already put together. Over the past 25, shit, almost 30 years now of DJing. So it's like, you know, I feel like, I mean, if it can almost be a conversation. These are conversations that we have to have. Like, it's a tough one, but like, what do you want to do? It can't be, well, I want this apartment building because that, in my opinion, is not to say your dream, but that's something that you're putting out there, and he's a part of the process. It's like, no, what do you want to do? And if you can't truthfully tell me that, then you need to figure that out. Because I mean, it's stuff like, I mean, I think it'd be dope for him. I mean, I didn't get any of my certifications until like the past 6, 7 years. If you're not working, you can get all of the certifications. So now you have something that's like right, because I wouldn't suggest going like, I have nothing against college, but I wouldn't suggest going to college trying to figure. I feel like college is good for building networking and relationships,
uh,
but at this point in time, college isn't going to teach you how to code. I mean, you're gonna learn on your own from a book from a professor.
yeah,
So in the
yeah. The
sense that
learning style in college is like you teaching yourself, right? So like
yeah,
you can teach yourself and not pay all that money. So
yeah,
like I'm not opposed to college. I like
yeah. I
young
mean,
people to.
it stamps you. It make like you can justify and say. I mean, like if it's a job out there that says college degree required,
Mhm.
then it puts you in that category to be able to get that job. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? But if it says like a PMP
so
certification is required, then hell, you can study for that for 4 months and then take the test. And if you don't pass, then take it again like I did. Shit. So, but
yeah, but the other part of that though, Sean, is like so we had to leave to go to college. That was the thing that was our way out, right?
hmm
Now, do you think it would have been the same? We would have went to the community college. I think so. I'm not opposed to like
I
being
think
in
college
debt.
really, I honestly, I think college makes sense for the social standpoint. I talk to more people within college or that I went to college with than I do from high school or
Wait,
junior high
wait,
or
wait. So this is what I really want to talk about because
mm.
I did that because you build a foundation. Like the people that you went to college, why do you think you connected with them? Uh, why do you think you connected with them more?
I felt like it was more of a isolated group of people like me. The like I mean it was an elevated source of education, but at the same time like it was like there was drug dealers in college. There was people that was selling weed. There was people that was like it was literally an elevated source of not to say that that's like the focus, but it was just like we was all on the same
So what this
wavelength
is
as far as
a higher
education.
level of niggas that was
Yeah, that essentially that's what it was. It was like, okay, you're like me, uh, but but in your off time you
you made it
DJ.
you made it past the fodder and everybody make it past high school. So,
Yeah, high school should be honestly high school should be the standard because if you went to class, most likely if you did the work that was told to you, I didn't feel like college. I was doing the work and struggling. Like it wasn't it wasn't like I was I was struggling as far as the material. Like but in high school, I just had to do the work. Like if I went and did problems or the assignment problems 1 through 30, handed that in, and I did them the way that the book said, then
yeah.
I'm gonna get an A. I'm gonna have this GPA. But
Till we got
shoot,
the
in
trig
college,
right. Till we got the trig right. It was a different.
college,
But
listen,
trig was the first like real like thing that I was like, yo, I'm reading this and I'm not getting it. Maybe I do have to talk. And
now
like,
listen to this dumb shit. I remember pre-calculus, and it was 2 levels. This was I was at state. It was 2 levels, Michigan State University. It was 2 levels of pre-calculus. It
now
was
pre-calculus was that a 100 level or was that
no, it
sub
was
100?
it was so 1825. That's the date. That was the math that they called it at Michigan State. I don't know if they still have it, but that was the remedial math.
Okay.
That was the
Yeah.
standard. This is what you got to know to get into college.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not opposed to taking 1825 where I could have got that easy 4 point and then went further up. But what I'm saying from the pre-calculus class, there was 2 classes. There was one that was Charles Drew, and that Charles Drew one was harder. And then there was another one that was just regular university math, pre-calculus.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm saying that like I was taking the Charles Drew math, and I'm like, why am I in this class? I
Because
failed
you're
the
an
class.
engineer. You're an
Listen, I
engineer.
failed the class. Got a 1 point in the class. The class was 5 credits. I was only taking 12. Just make sure I had my
Oh shoot! So
yeah.
now you was under the minimum.
Yeah, no. So I ended up on academic probation my first semester from one class. All my other classes I had above 2 point, 3 point, all that
So
stuff.
pre-calc with 5 credits.
5 credits.
So that was 100 level. Yeah, it was 100 level.
Yeah. So
Okay.
after I took it, after I retook it, so I took it the next semester with the university, got a 3.5. That literally it put me at like a 1.933. Like I was literally right under the 2 point academic probation. So literally I just had to retake that class. So then when I retook it, I got a 3.5, which boosted my GPA above a 3 point. Just in that one class, damn near took me out of the university. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is, don't take this hard ass classes if you don't have to. If you, because I got nothing extra from taking the Charles Drew math versus the regular math. I got
But
nothing.
so okay. With that
So
being said, do you even have to go to college for the stuff that you want to do? Because like when I think about, I think you went to school for computer science, right?
mm-hmm,
I went to school for computer science, and I'm implementing my computer science stuff or whatever.
mm-hmm.
But I've seen a lot of people went to school for liberal arts, and they end up going into the IT ish background. So they go through the 4 year the bachelor's degree in liberal arts, and then do 2 years in in IT or whatever. Maybe they got a
Mm-hmm.
MBA in project management, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then now they in the IT circle. I mean, but like, do you
I
feel
say
like
take the easiest courses possible to
that
get to
is?
get to get that degree. If someone's gonna pay for your school,
Mhm.
take the easier courses. Like I said, with the 116, it didn't make. I didn't get nothing extra from taking the, with the exception of wasted time. I'm taking the class. I'm like, damn, why am I not getting it? And everybody else, like, it wasn't just me failing, but I'm like, because it was making us do extra work. Like we had to go to an extra after hours, like uh tutoring session to be able to make sure that we were getting these problem sets that they were creating for us. And I'm like, why is it?
Man, that's crazy.
I'm not getting nothing from it. Like, no job, only one job actually asked for my transcript when I graduated.
That's awesome.
So it don't nobody care.
Man, because
Don't
like
nobody care about my GPA right now or period.
yeah, because pre-calculus was a remedial class for us. So like calculus, I was supposed to be taking calculus, but I I was taking pre-calc. That was 4 credit, and like I'm gonna give you all a math lesson. At GMI, credits I think at the time was like 350, 350. It sounds
Sound
really
about
cheap
right. I
now,
think nah, that
but
ain't. I
it
mean,
sounds really cheap now because like I see people paying $50,000 for to go to school for a year, right?
Mhm.
Uh, and I was like, dang, I am paying, I'm paying 1,300, $1,500 for a class, $1,500 for a class, and so like this going through my mind, I'm like, yo, is it worth it? Right? Is it worth it? And I pass it, but like
I think
the
it's worth it in the grand scheme of things, but no.
well, she
No,
and,
no.
and,
I'm just
and
saying, like a degree and no degree.
yeah,
Like I think a degree helps you in the sense to say, "Hey, I have this," and like I go to homecoming every year. Like to build with the people that I've already communicated with or have a
yeah,
relationship with. But then again, some people didn't have that relationship with people even
yeah,
at school.
yeah,
So
that's
so
crazy.
yeah.
Cause
So
like, to revisit what we were talking about, like, so I did enjoy going to school because I met some of the coolest best friends ever, right?
mhm.
So like, these are my boys that I could call, and I like, but I got high school people that I'm cool with that I could call and be like, yo, where you at? And they can come get me. Like, but I really felt like when I went to college, I met people that were in the same lane as me.
Yeah, like
I,
minded.
yeah, I
Hmm.
wouldn't even say like minded because we because I got a it's kind of different.
Hmm.
Like two mechanical engineers, three electrical
And
engineers.
they
So like
literally just threw us all in one space and said, "Hey, man, y'all get to know each other."
yeah,
And that's, I mean, because people say, "Well, should you go to a HBCU or should you go to a PWI?" And I honestly, like,
what's a PWI?
what do you call it?
Uh,
Predominantly white
Wait,
institution.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, I thought I had heard that before.
yeah. And
Yeah,
I think that's
and
just
I
so
went to a
stupid.
PWI.
Yeah,
So
no, because I feel like, and that's one thing too. I feel like we do as a as a group of people, we segregate ourselves instead of like, well, I went to Morehouse, so you're not as good as me because you went to a PWI as in Michigan State, or I went to Michigan State. Um, are y'all in the tournament? Type like it's just
yeah, but
like
I'm gonna tell you, Sean. Like
mhm.
after reading a few books, I've definitely felt like I should have went to Howard. And I've never been on like being. I've never been on, but there is a power about being around black people like the elite people like yourself, right? And
Mhm.
like so, and I know that's kind of what built my friendships in college because we were the elite
Mhm.
of where we went to high school at, right?
Mhm.
And so we bottom. I ain't necessarily bottom feeders, but we wouldn't the
He was in the
top of the
middle.
chamber
Yeah,
at in college.
yeah.
But those mindsets and that saying like I can push myself to a higher level, and then I was like, yo, if it would have been a ton of us, I like how much more could we have organized around that? Because like
But
this,
look at Michigan State. Michigan State has, I think it's around eight, oh, at that time, like 8 or 9 thousand black people.
that's what's up.
You talking HBCUs have maybe the same amount, 10, 12,000. So what I'm saying is, whether your school, whether it's a black school or a white school, whatever, like you're going to gravitate to who you gravitate to. So, like, say for instance, I'll give a good example. Like, we had this class called it's organic chemistry, Chem
Okay.
141.
Yeah.
So we all in the lab. I forgot what they called it back in the day. Where we had to they give us like 20 question set, and they'll tell us you got to turn this in by a certain period of time in order to get this grade. Like that was like how you handling your work, right? So we being like, I'm telling you, I met some of the bestest of friends within that lab trying to figure out, oh, you got number 6. Okay, let me show you how to do number 6.
Right.
Oh, you got number 2. Let me figure out how to do number 2. And we would, I think we called it
Teamwork
Kappa.
makes the
That's
dream
what we
work.
called it, Kappa. Yeah. And we would literally
Kappa like the fraternity.
no, it's CAPA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I forgot what the acronym is, but it's literally handing in your work for organic chemistry, and we would get Kappa assignments every week, and then I would get with people like, okay, you do this one, I'm gonna do this one, I'm gonna do this one, you do this one. We figure out how to do it, and then we go from there. And I'm saying that as in, like I said, I got the black experience, and a lot of people feel like, and don't get me wrong, I have nothing against going to HBCU or anything like that, but I feel like getting that, having that, didn't set me back or anything like that. Like I thought it was a great experience to be. Like, I didn't think I lost anything by going to Michigan State.
Y'all have a lot of clubs and support things like that. Like so at my PWI, we had like
I got to know people. Like I didn't know it was anything outside of Mexicans and white people until I got to Michigan State. I didn't know what Puerto Rican
That's
meant.
crazy how it was like.
Like I didn't know what Puerto Rican meant. I didn't know what Indian meant. Like if you was either white or black or Mexican.
Well, we had Indians too. We had like
no, but they was white though.
No, here like we had.
I'm Indians saying too. They were considered white to me. Like
Indians?
Like yeah,
the Native Americans.
Yeah.
No, not the Native Americans.
Yes.
Like
growing up here, look, nigga, when I was,
it might more been Mexican.
Now listen, when I was in, well, we was in high school. Our mascot has been changed.
Yeah.
Our mascot is the Big Reds.
Yes.
And there was some Big Red Indian mascots that were not Native American.
That we have.
I remember one specifically when I was in the 10th grade because I'm like, but I didn't understand it. I was like, well, I mean, he's.
So you think Santana is white? Santana was white.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What about Tim? Tim, who was our?
You talking about the I think he
already that guy. Like he was definitely not white.
I thought he was Mexican. I thought he was Mexican. He was in band. He played I think he played the trumpet.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, that's what I was like.
Yeah, he was a mascot for a minute. Yeah, he was cool. He was an Oakland. I remember he was an Oakland A's fan. Like, he was a cool dude. But look, I'm telling you, like, and this is where like going to school. This is one thing I did. I mean, I enjoyed about, I don't even call it PW. I never thought that made sense, but that's what other people call it. And I just feel like this is a way of separating ourselves. But at the same time, like I didn't know Cultural de la Razas Unidas, which is they called it CREW or APASO, Asian Pacific American. I forgot what the SO stand for, Student Association. I didn't know of all of these. Hell, like gay was against like niggas weren't being gay. You know what I'm saying? Like
we always had gay niggas, but they weren't gay.
Yeah, like we knew, and it was okay. Like it wasn't like you gay, but at the same time, when nobody openly, like I didn't see an openly gay person until I got to college. Like
no, we had.
No, we knew Vince was gay, but Vince was not openly like. And Vince is a cool dude. Like
Vince is my guy. That's
look, I fuck with Vince.
My guy. Yeah,
I mean, like we
I just
knew.
remember seeing the two white dudes kissing in the hallway.
Oh, I've never seen that. Hell, I want to say I didn't see two white dudes kissing until probably some on TV.
No, it was definitely. I was like, yo.
No, I've never seen that. I've never witnessed that. Yeah. I remember Vincent. I don't know no white gay people. I only know one gay person. Was huh?
Vincent is gay.
I think so.
See, I never put it.
I mean, like I said, I can't speak to his coming out party, but I know that.
I never put him.
But we knew something was.
I mean, he's been feminine my whole life.
Yeah, I'm talking about like from. We grew up with Vince. Like we grew up with Vince from preschool
and a beast, and we'll beat show.
Yeah, look, Vince got hands. From preschool to 12th grade, and like I said, Vince, if you ain't gay, then from we always thought that, but it was never. We were separating it that you're gay. That we can't hang out with you. Like you was a cool dude. Like we ran track together. We was in band together. All that stuff. Like it was never like, oh, he gay. We can't hang out with him. So Kendrick too. But I didn't know
threw me
Kendrick.
off.
But look, I didn't
Like,
know
I seen
Kendrick
it got
until
married.
yeah, I saw all the photos and everything on Facebook. I was
So
like, oh,
I don't
okay.
never say it until it's confirmed, right? So
Yeah.
because like
It ain't got my business. Shit, if you want to suck a dick and eat a pussy, shit, it ain't got nothing to do with me. Shit, have all the dicks and all the pussies that you want if you want to, do it like that.
I'm disclaimer. Do you
Yeah,
be who you love and love what you do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just don't put me in that box.
Look, I told you, if Blake Griffin want to fuck me for $50,000,
no.
if Blake Griffin want to fuck me for $50,000 a month,
he's bullshitting.
Blake Griffin can have all this ass.
Dog, he's gonna write you a check and you're gonna be like,
look, hey, I got to bust it down for a real one.
So, disclaimer: I don't care what you like, how you like it, or whatever. Your bedroom has nothing to do with our personal experience.
Not at all.
So as long as
we can be cool.
As long as you happy,
yeah,
I'm happy for you. You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't need to know who's in your bedroom and who's going to your bedroom,
including Blake Griffin.
Nigga, no.
I'm telling you, Blake get all this ass for $50,000 a month. That'd be great. I try to get a little bit more though, but 50 week in a
it is not worth it. It is not worth it. Don't listen to him. He is being funny. This is a joke. This is a running joke. We got check out the previous podcast. What 2 podcasts ago where we were talking about
when you speak
child
so much
support.
Opinions, it becomes truth.
Keep talking.
Blake can have all this.
Keep talking.
He'd be like, one time, 10 times. I'd be like,
damn.
That
type of money no more. Blake,
Blake, you back again? We just did something in May. Oh man.
Yeah. So again, I don't know if he's gay. I don't know if he identifies.
I think he came out though at one point in time though. I know Kendrick did for sure.
I seen Kendrick on the vote. I seen he married and like all the.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean Kendrick is a cool dude.
I mean,
like I said, I had no problem. Like Kendrick, I think he came to our school 12th grade, right, or something like that. Kendrick.
He been around since still. Like I know him.
Kendrick.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, maybe I didn't see him. I went to Bunker. Yeah. So, but no, I thought he had moved here or something like late in the game.
Been here for a while.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Kendrick and shit.
I mean, and when
I know
he
hung with our cousin Tamir.
Yeah, and when I say feminine, I mean like they have feminine ways. Not to say that they wouldn't still men, but like I said,
yeah, they hung out with girls more than they hung out with dudes.
And Vincent is my guy. I used to live down the street from him. His family helped me
cut our hair sometimes.
Yeah, so like
until he got you, he messed you up.
Yeah, and but he started my own career. I've been cutting my own hair since the 8th grade-ish. So like, live and learn. Yeah.
So that's funny. Yeah, let's just jump back on topic. So, but like I said, Blake can get it. But what about this whole idea of coming up with ideas versus like executing them? Because I know a lot of times people will say, "Hey, I want to do this," and it's weird too. Sometimes we'll have an idea, but we'll say, "Well, it can only be our idea," but we won't execute it. So then it's like it goes into nowhere, but then someone ends up executing it, just because it's that
was my idea, right?
Yep.
So my daughter has wanted to do a cereal bar, right? And I was like, yo, a cereal bar? She's like, yeah, we just have a bunch of different cereals, a bunch of different milks, and people can eat cereal at a bar. I was like, oh, that's different. You know what I'm saying?
How long ago was this?
This was we talked about it because like I was running ideas of what I could do with the building. So this might be 3 years.
Tell her to do it. I know it's some down in Atlanta. It's some in Chicago too.
Oh, she's seeing some girl in Grand Rapids do it.
Yeah, but I say tell her to do. I mean, I'm saying like the dope part about doing things, right? Like you can do it. It fails. You do something else.
Yeah.
I mean, like having that idea. That's why I'm like, well, if you have the idea, you have the resources to be able. Because that's the thing. You got to have the resources to be able to do it as well. I mean, like I said. If you can do it, like I tried to do like I think I mentioned this before, but I tried to do like instead of DJs teaching them how to do it. I'm like, man, this is so much energy. This is taking away from my energy, and I'm spending more time on this. And I was like, well, it's probably easier, I guess, me being a quote unquote product and doing it myself, where I don't have to, micromanage all of these different entities. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't, it was too time consuming for me to do it and then do my career and then do all that stuff. But and then the game shifted too.
Managing people is definitely hard, right?
Yeah,
So
and
like,
then the game shifted too. Music, when the music industry crashed, it just made it where it was very difficult to um, execute some of the things within music. Because like, I mean, we had started having to deal with stuff like ASCAP. I don't know if you're familiar with ASCAP, but like, it's a way to control your music. So, say for instance, if I'm DJing, like if I go into a building,
mhm.
if they didn't pay ASCAP, I can't play no music from
oh, oh,
any
so
of
they
those
have
artists. So say if
geofences.
they didn't pay
Yeah,
Universal or Sony or
yeah.
any of these businesses. I mean, people don't really pay attention to it, but they started paying attention to it when the money started drying up and niggas weren't buying CDs no more and stuff like that. So, but no, I mean I mean, figure out this is the thing. A lot of people have a hard time writing. Like I always like I live by the Bible verse: write the vision, make it plain. Habakkuk 2:2. It's like write it down, say what you want to do, and then figure out how to get there. Because a lot of people are afraid to write it down because they don't want nobody to know what they're doing.
So, and I was at one of these business expos, and we talked. I did a pitch, right? And I like the one guy. He was like, "I would never pitch my stuff because they're just gonna take it and do something with it." And I said, "Well, nobody has my vision or my passion to do what I want to do anyway. So I could tell you everything about what I want to do, and you can think that is a great idea,
Mm.
but you don't know the intricacies that I see that makes that execute." So tell them why you mad.com. That's a project that I'm working on with my G coded people, and that is going to be a place where you can complain. Uh, you can complain.
You just
Yeah, you can complain about
fuck
anything.
them niggas.
Yeah, like yeah, if
This
you
some bullshit.
yeah, exactly. Just get it off your chest, right?
Mhm.
And then if you want to do something more than complain, you can have the opportunity to do something more than you can so I'm gonna just give you the idea right now. So if anybody is shaking it, right? So the
I
whole
don't think
idea,
people listen and be like, I can do that, and then don't execute.
yes,
I mean, that
yes,
happens. I mean, you give your idea, but I'm saying like, say for
yeah.
instance with DJing, people are like, well, I'm gonna start DJing too. I'm gonna da da da. They ain't doing it no more because of, okay, I can't make money from this, or I gotta do this, or I gotta
It's
carry
more
this
work than
equipment,
what it
or
looked like.
yeah.
You know what I'm
So
saying? Like,
yeah,
and
it's
that's the
just
thing, because you make stuff look easy, and
mhm,
then they think that everybody can do it.
mhm,
I DJ before. I
yeah.
used to DJ, and like I was like, yo, it's not easy. People talk about, oh, you just playing music. No, you not. You have
Look,
to
I
see.
don't even be the aux. I'm not hooking my phone up. Like, oh, you want me to DJ from my phone, and then my phone is all. No, I'm not even playing. Like, if I'm not getting paid, I'm not the aux. Like that is and then people use you to almost be a DJ to say, well, play this, don't play this. I don't like that. Turn it off. Play the next one. Da, da, da. Like, you are literally making me do a DJ job from my phone that I don't want to that I'm not getting paid for.
Yeah, or even if you in a spot and you playing music, and then they like, you got this, you got that.
Yep.
Again, well, I'm gonna tell you, the hardest part about DJing to me is when people come up with these requests asking for songs that you never gonna play, right? And it's like
Or you got to pay for them.
they keep coming back, and you like, nigga, as soon as I get there, I get there. But like right now, I gotta move the crowd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
I think
like,
I told. Well, I don't know if I mentioned, but the two C. That's the. I think I mentioned the last podcast. Somebody asked me, like, this fucking 7-year-old asked me to play the Tusi song, and it was slow as fuck, and I hadn't heard it, but I was like, oh well, because I gotta pay for all my music just to make sure I got the sound quality and all that stuff. So I buy like each song from like Apple Music for like $1.29 or 99 cents, or how much ever it is. But
I hope you're
it,
writing it off.
yeah, that's
Okay,
all. Yeah.
yeah.
So what I do is I'll download it, and like I said, I'm in the middle of DJing, so I don't have a time to actually listen to it before I download. Like if I'm at home and I'm getting stuff ready to, I'll listen to it. I'm like, no, I ain't playing that. But like if I'm in the middle of a party or an event, I get asked to play a song. I'm like, well, let me let me go ahead and download it if I feel like it's worth downloading, and then I'll go ahead and I'll play it in my headphones just to see what it sounds like, and then like, but that little motherfucker asked me to play that shit, and nigga like, what song I'm talking about? It's
Yeah,
slow as fuck.
yeah, I know what you're
In
talking
the body, in the body. I was like, why am I playing this in the middle of fucking Boss
and
Man
it's auto
D-Lo?
tune. Yeah.
Like this doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, because I had that situation happen twice. I think I had mentioned, but chick asked me to play "Ordinary People" by John Legend in the middle of the party, like 2004. I still don't fuck with it to this day just because of that shit. But I was like, this is like, I'm not gonna play "Ordinary People" ever in life, like in a part. I don't even play that song. Period. I didn't think it was I thought it was okay. Honestly, I bought John Legend because he's with Kanye, but listen to that song. That song didn't drive me to buy a CD, even though I thought the CD was really good. But like, that wasn't. I didn't hear that song in the club. I didn't hear that song on the radio. Well, it was probably playing on the radio at that point in time. But it wasn't a song that I'm like, I'm gonna play that in the middle of Yin Yang
I
Twin
mean,
and
it's
Lil
a
Jon.
song that don't really fit in genres, right? It's a pop song that don't really fit.
It's a song that plays.
It's a background music.
Yeah, right. It's not a song that you go like, oh, you got the Ordinary People, nigga. Like, drop that shit. Right. Like, nah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But again, dream it and achieve it. So like, everybody don't like. I have people protecting ideas all the time. That's cool. I'll sign the NDA. But
what are you protecting if you're not doing it?
Well, there's some people that start doing the legal process and stop starting with the legal process.
People aren't even doing the legal process. Like, people are just like, oh, you know what? I woke up and thought about this.
Now, this
would be a good idea.
I had somebody here from Muskegon contacted me. They were doing a digital blanket, and that it could be like a screen or stuff. And like, he had a prototype, and so he wanted to.
Most niggas don't get to that stage.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, you saying he had a prototype, he had the idea thought up, and da da da. Look, I remember this dude when I was in Ann Arbor or Ypsilanti. This dude had I think it might have came out around that same time, and this dude was literally like, I'm trying to get my doorbell camera off. Like, he was trying to literally execute that. I was like, it might have been like 2012, 2013. I think Ring didn't like maybe even go public until like 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
But he had that idea, and I was like, man, keep pushing it. I mean, I'm behind you. Whatever you need me to do, I'm cool with it. But I mean, he had the prototype and everything, But somebody beat him to the market quicker,
Yeah, and even if they beat you to the market, you can still build a better product. I think about MySpace,
you can still do
Facebook.
Yeah, that's my ring and and it could be your ring. But I mean, it's just like tissue. It's like, shit, people gotta wipe their ass, but everybody call it tissue.
Yeah,
like
it's more work.
Yeah. So
yeah, but again, be your number one cheerleader. Talk about that stuff all the time, and that's why I said tell them youmad.com will be my next project, and you can go up there and talk about anything. If it's a McDonald's on 3rd Street that's always ice cream machine broke, go ahead and put it out there. Like, it's a little twist on that, because like you can just want to say something and not publish it, but like, and then if you want to do something about it, like, let's say I'm tired of the city charging me so much for my water bill, and they, I can't call.
You have to complain.
Spirit Airlines, right? I get the Spirit Airlines. They will give you your money back in a minute, even though you like, yo, I can't get another plane ticket for the money I just gave you, right? I'm at the airport, you cancel a flight, and now you give my money back and be like, here you go. Like, dog. Yeah. So if you want to
listen, there are a world of complainers, and I think that would be a dope ass site, because what will happen is, I mean, because everybody, I mean, we all can complain about something, right? I complain about my back hurting. I complain about not getting this back from my taxes. I can complain about my car breaking down. You complain about I feel like we complain about more things than actually highlighting the good things that happen.
Yeah, that's why we tap into it. We got to tap into it, because the energy is bigger when you feel like somebody did you wrong. Right.
Yep.
So you can complain about your boyfriend, you can put him on blast or whatever. We're not gonna publish that, but at least you can get it off your chest. Because like when you get into
I'm gonna
that
complain
type of
about
stuff,
Blake Griffin not giving me this 50,000 for this
yeah. But
ass.
I mean, like another site that I own, I've owned it for like 7 years. Like
Mm-hmm.
Ask Puffy.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what's the line?
Puffy?
Ask Puff Daddy. Yeah, askpuffdaddy.com.
Damn.
Ask
You need to
Puff.
you need to highlight that one.
Askpuffdaddy.com.
Woo! Hey, throw that shit
Ask, not ask. Askpuffdaddy.com. True
like
player for real.
ASS?
Ask Puff Daddy. Ask. I took the
Like
bigger
Ass
line.
Jeeves?
Yeah. Ask Puff
Oh,
Daddy.
as for okay, okay.
Yeah,
Nigga,
it
hey,
was a straight
what are
bigger
you
line.
waiting on? You can
Man,
capitalize on that.
that's all I was like, yo, let me
No,
go
you
ahead
can just put that on your Facebook page and don't say nothing. People gonna be like,
askpuffdaddy.com. I own it and like, yeah, coming
as
soon. True player for real.
no, you
Ask
can
Puff
ball out.
Daddy.
Like, what are you doing? You are not capitalizing on the moment.
But see, like
He is literally going through court right now.
because here's the thing, like I had my vision was like, yo, ask about the record industry, ask what
But everything pivots though.
Yeah,
Like you look at. I mean, I tell people all the time, like Salesforce is not what Salesforce was 10 years ago,
No.
or businesses are not. I mean, you had IBM trying to push AI like shit, like years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it just ain't the market has to catch up for it to work.
Yeah.
You know, and you may have had it before, but you know, it may not. I don't know, not to say it may not work out for you, but it just may not be the time for it. And then once you have it, that's nigga, ask Puffy. Nigga, I'll be on that bitch asking all the questions.
Yeah.
About, I mean, that
so
shit
what's
crazy.
stopping me from executing that? Like,
Yeah.
right? So like what's stopping me from executing that is I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, time and energy and stuff like that. I mean, you got other stuff going on. I mean, I get it.
But you know, it's coming.
Yeah.
So
you need to get that before the verdict.
You got to. Yeah.
The verdict coming down
nigga
soon.
did not testify. Dog, to offshoot this, how do you feel about that? Like, man, the defense just rested.
So this is what I've been reading is that they're saying that the defense doesn't feel like the prosecutors or feel like they made their point. So why put your client up there? And I get it. I mean,
I'm saying they ain't put a witness on the stand. They just said.
But you got to think within court. Court is all about. I mean, if there's any reasonable doubt, then I mean, if there's one juror that says he's not guilty, and there's other one, all of them saying like it's not a consensus vote. Like it all has to be, they all have to agree to it, or
you gotta have 12 yes, 12.
So they're saying that the defense didn't feel like they made their point to be able to say that he's guilty. And honestly, bro, like the stuff that they trying to like, if you look at sex trafficking,
you got 3 charges, right? The 3 charges is racketeering. I'm sorry, racketeering conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
That means he's conspired with his conglomerate to break laws.
Yeah, he's conspiring with himself, apparently.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense. I've never seen a RICO case with one person.
Sex trafficking, and then prostitution, paying prostitutes to come across state. I forgot what, but it's basically
that nigga just freaky.
It's basically the same thing.
Look, that nigga just freaky.
Paying for a prostitute to travel.
Yeah, and that's why like people say, oh, he's guilty. Da da da. I'm like, what is he guilty
of? What?
He's guilty of being freaky.
He's guilty of being a horrible person. Because I'm not a Puff Daddy fan, but like it's just crazy how people turn your back on how people get their like so many people saying he's guilty because they don't like him. It's okay for you not to like him and not to be guilty. It's like they can't wait for a black man to just, and I'm gonna say it too, because this for black people. I ain't talking to white people. I'm talking to black people. You quick to throw somebody away, but then when like they just gave him the key to the city, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, right. I'm still pissed I can't go to a Bad Boy reunion tour no more. That's I remember it's funny. It was in Chicago. I think it was 2018. Bad Boy tour. It was Bad Boy tour and Lauren. So the Bad Boy tour got postponed to another week because of weather or something like that. And on that date, the Lauryn Hill was performing at Ravinia. And I chose to go see Lauryn Hill, which is one of the worst decisions I've ever made in my life. uh, and it was just a terrible show. And I regret not going to the Bad Boy tour because you'll never see a Bad Boy tour ever again, guilty or not guilty. So that shit hurts
You,
my heart.
you don't think he can redeem himself?
Nah, it's over.
Why not, man? America
Perception.
loves a good comeback. All you
No,
gotta
we
do is
don't.
make some good hits,
We
man.
not these days. We want everybody to be canceled, and we living in a cancel culture where I mean, dog,
I don't
I, I,
subscribe. I will
I
not
saw something.
cancel somebody because they've
Dog, I
been
saw Fat
accused of.
Joe get trying. They trying to cancel Fat Joe. On I'm like sexual charge against Fat Joe. Like it just sounds weird.
No,
And
that was his hype man.
yeah,
That
and I'm like,
said
I was like,
he
this is
made
some.
him screw 4,000 people.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I was like, this is
What,
$26 million.
what is coercion mean? What does coercion mean, man?
Yeah,
Like,
man. That shit is so weird to me. It's like we just live in a culture of because we, like you talking Jonathan Majors. It's just, I mean, Jonathan Majors literally tried to avoid a woman. But at the same time, it's like, well, Marvel said they had to do what they had to do. But I honestly, I do feel like
I understand that Marvel because they're trying to distance themselves away from like it's a part of their brand.
But
You know what I'm
what
saying?
about Robert Downey Jr.? I mean,
Like
that dude was a known drunk and just did
and
crazy ass
druggies,
shit.
but at the time it was some years separated from that, right? It was some
So
years
is it the
separated.
time heals all things? You can bring him back as Doom?
I mean,
I mean, not Doom.
Kang the
Yeah.
Conqueror. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think they can bring him back. I think
I think he should come back within the next 2 years.
I think so too. I
So
think so because you got to give him that grace because like here's the thing like nobody like and being a kid now and having people walk around with cameras and stuff like I can just cringe at some of the stuff that I like man if they would have been recording me doing this stuff I would have been like nah I ain't never put myself in a position where I, yeah I ain't never put myself
I mean, I've
I,
had my ass out and my shirt off, just dance at a party.
you
If
did
somebody had a
you was
camera,
butt naked
no, it was just the ass, just the
why
ass.
you had to
I
you was
don't
with the
know.
cues
Like they said,
you was with
no.
the
I
cues
was
to do that stuff and I
look,
don't know
but I was
what
dancing, and I didn't realize it was that sagging. But I had my shirt off, but it was sagging, and it was like somebody had a camera. Boy, oh boy, I remember at the IC. My boys calling me out for it, but it is what. Oh, he had baby powder on too. Like, yeah, waiting on Blake. No,
That's terrible. That's terrible. That's terrible. But no, so like, I mean, you got to give people some grace. I'm not saying that he's not a horrible person. I think money can do that to people, make them worse. But then, like, I look at people like,
you can't cancel people for being a bad person. Is
yeah,
my thing. I mean, that's what I feel like.
You can't throw somebody in jail for being a bad person. Now
Yeah.
I can be like
For a crime, yeah. I mean,
I cannot want to have. I would not want to be around Puffy. Like I just look at his artists and like how his artists have like, man, they just seem to fall on issues, right?
to an extent, man, listen, I think people are just who they are.
Right.
Like
So
you had Loon who ended up in jail.
you
You had
Black
G
Rob,
Dep in
G-Dep,
jail.
yeah.
Um,
Black Rob went to jail before he went to.
yeah, so but I'm saying like these people are like, I mean, they say Biggie died off some bullshit.
Yeah.
Nothing happened to Faith. Nothing happened to 112 except them niggas is just two niggas now instead of four. But I'm just saying like I feel like Puffy, whether he did think Puffy brought up a great point probably maybe about 15, 20 years ago. He said, look at what the artist did with me and look what the artist did without me. And if you look at what they did with him, it was highly successful. They had to like Puffy is just as important to Biggie as Biggie was to Puffy.
Well, Puffy seen like, and we talked about it on other episode. Puffy seen enough in bid to where he was able to go get $1 million. Be like, sign here because I can make you.
Nobody was trying to hear big.
Right.
And
he. So I mean, that goes
black
back
and
to
ugly
that.
as
That goes.
ever. Like nobody really like no like if you look at Biggie's success, like if you look at
seeing that nigga in concert in real life, yeah, he was up there in front too. That nigga is black.
I mean, look at it as a breakdown of it, right? So you talking Party and Bullshit. What was that 92, 93, somewhere around there? I didn't even care for that song. You talking, then you talking all these remixes that was most likely coordinated by Puffy.
Yeah.
So within all of them remixes, and then you talking Juicy, you talking what's the song that
Warning,
huh
warning, warning.
Warning? Yep, that was
Yeah,
second single. Then you talking Big Papa, and then
yeah.
he did a Big Papa remix
Remix
video. Then you
with
did a
JD.
one more chance remix video, and then you talking, and then mind you, he's still doing all of the remixes like the joint with the Brat, all these different songs. Like these are all coordinated by Puff. Like you can tell Biggie's energy. Like what's the song? I don't want to live no more.
Like Death from the Kingdom
Before,
of
like
Dope.
that was Biggie's type of lane.
Everyday struggle.
Everyday struggle.
Yeah,
He wanted that to be his first single.
yeah.
That wouldn't have worked. You
No,
know, and I felt like they were a perfect marriage as far as being able to A&R artists and get them to the perfect vision. I mean, you talk like you look at Mace. Like I used to not be able to like unless I saw the video, I used to not be able to determine like Mace or Puff. Because Mace was
because
right for Puff.
Puff. Yeah,
You know, so it's just like
yeah.
if I hear it, I mean, of course, I mean after a while, it's the same thing with you talking Outkast. Like I used maybe I just wasn't listening close enough, but even with Outkast, I had a hard time like on that first album,
Yeah.
determining who was who.
Mm.
Second album is painfully obvious on like who.
Painfully.
Yeah,
Aliens, painfully.
no. I'm saying painfully like it's so obvious it doesn't make sense. Like it's so like you could literally tell who's Dre. You could literally tell who's Big Boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They have a lot more. So the first album they had a lot of features on there too.
Yeah.
So the second album was more just them.
Yeah. I mean, but with the Biggie thing or the Puffy thing, like all of the stuff that he's done within music, you know, I mean, I want to. The difference is what you will and won't do, and we talk about this as far as the case and stuff like that. Like, I'm not. If I got to do this, if I got to get fucked by Blake Griffin to be on Bad Boy, I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like if I gotta
Yeah.
get fucked by Puff to be on Bad Boy, I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and it's just how you equate what getting fucked is.
Yeah.
It's like understanding that you don't have to do certain things to achieve success. It may be a more painful route to be able to do things, but at the same time, you just gotta be willing to do that instead of trying to take the easier road and saying, well, if I ride this train with Puff and have to do these freak offs and all of this stuff
to
then,
support the lifestyle that I want.
Yeah,
like
then
there's
I
some
don't want
culpability, right? So
Yeah.
like we were talking about before, there's culpability in everything you do. You have the right to say it's not worth it. Like to me, and you know, maybe I'm just a stubborn old man, and like a lot of the stuff ain't worth it. Like like if I
now
have
that 50,000 from Blake,
ain't worth it. So like yeah, it's just
worth it.
It's just some stuff. It's just some stuff like it would never be worth it for me to vote for Donald Trump. Like I can't see it. There's no way in my eyes that I would be like, yo, that's the better option, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah.
I mean, I get it. I get it from the so say for instance Donald Trump, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know who I would vote for, just because of the ideals, but at the same time, like I don't try to discount somebody. Like I don't say, you voted for Donald Trump, but I will look at you kind of weird, you know, if you voted. But at the same time, it's like that's the beauty of America, even though it kind of sucks at times, is like you have a choice. You know, I just feel like you have to, like, say for instance with the Trump and Kamala, like a couple years ago, is that understanding that you have to make the best decision. Well, take that back. Well, you have to make the best decision for yourself. That's what I was going to say. But at the same time, you have to prove, like Kamala, it's always an uphill battle for us. Like not just with her in general, like from a black perspective, but it's just always an uphill battle. Like I've never, and I'm trying to think back. I don't think I've ever seen a president leave and then take 4 years off technically and come back. Like that's not been within our lifetime.
No, not
for
our
sure.
lifetime. Yeah.
So we like I feel he does tactics to make sure that he has a fighting chance to be within office. But then I feel like sometimes, like not just say Democrats or whatever, but I feel like with Democrats, they took more traditional methods to
They still playing by the '60s playbook
yeah, and it don't work. Like it didn't work with
versus
Hillary. Like
yeah.
you see what Hillary did.
See,
So like, why didn't you? Mhm.
I'm a really put something out there. Kamala was not my choice. I told my mother
Who'd you vote for?
that
Cornel West?
I would have voted for Cornel West if he was on that ticket.
He was.
Yeah, he was an
Yeah,
independent on that
yeah, he
ticket.
was on
But no,
there.
I did vote for her,
Mm.
but she was
I just
not.
couldn't take away the votes from her. So
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like,
Because
but I would, but
I
I
think in
would.
the primary I did vote for some. Well, Joe Biden was the only one on the primary.
Yeah.
Uh, but I say this: Kamala was not the strongest candidate, and so like I had to tell my mom, I was like, yo, America ain't ready for a woman and a black woman at that, and she can't be put under pressure without just laughing and looking crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, America is not ready for my
No, they
cousin
weren't.
sister.
No, it
Yeah.
just is what it is. I
And
mean,
then they painfully showed you because he whipped her butt is what he said, and I'm like, they ready to party with Kamala, but they're not ready.
yeah,
And,
no,
and she did that
I
shaky
felt some
stuff.
pandering at times.
Yeah,
Like,
but she did that shaky stuff with if you lost and you got all these people outside waiting for you at Howard University and you don't even come out, that's terrible.
nah,
You're terrible.
no,
Even if you're
you
not,
just got
even
to
if
you just
you're
got to
not,
put the foundation down, and I don't feel like the Democrats had put enough foundation, especially with Biden bowing out at a period of time. It was like, I mean, you didn't give her enough time to build the foundation that she needed to be able to be a
nah,
president.
she sucked as far as putting the package together.
She
Like,
didn't have enough time to put it together.
even in her interviews when she said, "Hey, would you change anything doing Brighton?" This was they gave her a home run on the View, right? It
Hmm.
was like, "Would you change anything in the first term of Biden?"
Hmm.
Dog, at the very least, she could have said, "Yeah, I probably would have focused more on the economics,
Hmm.
more on getting people back to work, not and focus more on the border." She had one job, she had the border job, and I'm not giving this to Republicans to be like, "Yeah, see, he rocking with us." I'm never rocking with somebody who don't want my vote, but based on how they treat me and my people. You know what I'm saying? I Republicans could never get could, what they're riding on right now can never get my vote. Like you
You know,
take it away
I
from
think they
poor
literally
people.
built it off of, I mean, what they had in the past,
That
and
2025,
went
that
from there.
project
So
2025, dog, that ain't me. Like I'm all for public schools. I learned a lot in public schools. My public school was probably the cornerstone, one of the cornerstones of my life. So like, yeah, y'all can.
and look at it like this, right? So, say for instance, 2008 to 2016, Obama, right?
Yeah,
The foundation that he laid down, everything that he put in place. And then I tell people all the time, like, just look at the timeline, because people say, well, things weren't executed while you were with Biden, things were executed while you were with Trump. But if you look at the foundation that Obama set from 2008 to 2016, that's what Trump was able to capitalize off of.
yeah.
So you're
The
saying,
pendulum swing.
yeah, so
Yeah,
you're talking 2018 or 2016, 2020, you're going to look like a great president, even though your visuals are fucked. Like his visuals are just trash. But
he's a rapist, dog.
yeah.
Like,
So
eh,
so you look at 2016 to 2020, he's going to look like he's doing great things. So then when you go 2020 to 2024, you're going to see more of a downturn because of what he's done. So then it's not going to look good on Biden. So then now you're running in 2024.
I
It's
think Biden still would have beat him. I think he still would have beat him. I just think
talking about
that
this year or
he,
2024.
yeah, I think he still would have beat him.
Nah,
I
his
think,
visuals was way his number like so that's one thing that's good about politics. I mean,
but you had a binary choice right there. It wasn't about woman, a man, a black person. It was just about two white men and
it was one. I mean, and ironically, they're around the same age, but it was one white man that a lot of people don't really like fuck with like that. Then there was this other white man that just came off of a 20 to 20 a term that people weren't that that felt like that it was a good thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And with it coming from that, it's like he would have had a harder time. I mean, he was starting to have the old shit like kick in. So
He was about to
that's
go to jail. So
yeah,
like,
yeah. No, I'm talking about
yeah.
Biden.
Oh,
Biden.
okay.
No,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
saying
yeah.
Biden. I
Okay.
mean, because I
Yeah.
look, we had this conversation before, but I told you, like, I remember telling Lynn and Saint, he's like, oh, he gonna go to jail, da da da. I was like, no, he's not. I was like, and they kept going back and forth. I was like, he's not going to jail. He's the president of the United States. Like, he's not going to jail. And then you're like, well, just wait until his. I was like, no, we look us
Hey,
as a
keep turning over in that grave because that
they
nigga
are
should've
gone.
yeah, that's
And he's still the president, or he's
he got back to
he got back in there.
my auntie and my
mind
cousin
you, listen,
are turning over in their grave because they like
literally,
this dude who orchestrated a almost coup
Mhm.
is back in the White House and then forgave everybody who did it, and now the regular taxpayers got to pay for all the damages that they did. Because what they don't tell you is when he gave them a pardon, they don't have to pay restitution. So all the stuff that they crashed in, broke them windows, you know, whatever,
yeah.
we just gonna have to pay for it.
No, and mind you, when I'm saying this from a visual standpoint as a
Yeah.
president,
I'm a Trump
you're not going to put a president in prison
I
just
think
because that hurts our nation.
I think they should. I think they will. And
Nah, that nigga, he will die.
I mean, he probably gonna. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing, like I
hate to
said,
say this, but
listen,
he's gonna die
that
the
was
next year.
when was that? That
No,
had
let
been
me
like
stop
look,
because
that had to been like 2018, 2019 when we was over there talking about it. And I was like, yo, I was like, he's not going to jail. Like, and the thing is, but you got like, he's definitely not. You saw how they were trying to, I don't know if you know, this was like last year, they were trying to postpone all of the stuff so he
yeah.
can go after. I was like, man, y'all fighting the hill. Not to say, I
Man,
mean, hey, go for
they
it.
didn't pull back the felony they gave him in New York. Yeah, the stuff is.
Yeah, he's not going. I mean, and all of his, he's been forgiven for all the stuff. He's not going in, and that's just, it is what it is. But now you have to figure out how. God, I feel like sometimes we focus on the wrong thing. Like we focus on, let's try to get him in jail rather than figuring out how to protect ourselves from things that are
I think the
passing.
messages would have been better if we would have focused more on what we can't do instead of what he doing.
Yeah,
Like,
but what I'm saying, yeah, but
yeah.
there you go. I'm saying like make sure that okay, he's saying that you're gonna have to start paying back student loans.
Yeah.
My mindset is like, okay, let me make sure all my stuff in place so I don't get garnished. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that, you're gonna be like, I don't want you to be the person that when you see your check in 2 months, you be like, damn, why my check lower? It's that damn Trump. It's like he told you that he was going to do it,
But
this is this is the president that if he says he's going, I don't care what. If he says he's going to do it, he's going to do it.
He's
Like
gonna try to do it, and then,
yeah,
and if they stop him, they stop him. But he rather ask for forgiveness than permission.
yep.
And I ain't mad at what he doing. It is what it is. He done messed up my money. I got some of my money back.
But understand how. But you're prepared for it. A lot of people aren't prepared for it because you understand that if he says he's going to do it, most likely it's going to get done, or he's going to go through every part of the process to make sure that it gets done. So prepare yourself before that happens. It's like, well, make sure your loans are in a good state. Make sure everything is in place financially before if it's automatically going to garnish your check because he's telling you now that it's going to that's the funny part. Like not funny part, but people getting deported.
The funny part about this is
mm-hmm.
for a person that's done bankruptcy at least 3 times, I believe,
mm-hmm.
for him to, I mean, you can't put student loans in bankruptcy. So like he knows
that's one thing I would like him to execute. I love that shit. I claim that 7. I'll take that 7 years and be all right with it. I took that 7 years 20 years ago.
Now it's time to execute and go ahead and make the money so you can pay off a student loan and then
mm-hmm.
maybe help send some other kid to school. Not have that financial burden because I think we going public. That's how.
No,
that's how we gonna do it.
Blake Griffin.
No, we going public. Y'all hear more about it. We got this IT. We got this new startup.
That's what's up, Blake?
We got this new startup that we're gonna go public, and we're looking at public offering of $77 billion.
Blake is a supporter.
No. We got a startup. We got a startup. Y'all be on the lookout for the startup. I told you, tell them whymad.com. But we got a startup. We got a startup that we're going to go public on. And we're going to look to raise $77 billion and retain at least 50% of the.
And we get 600K per year from Blake. I'm only gonna do it for 2 years though. After that, Blake, you gotta find somebody else. You gotta, I don't know.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, man, tell us what's on your mind, man. What's going on?
Man, let's see what we got within this time. We got through mostly everything. One thing I did want to say is, man, if you want to do something, just do it. Don't talk about it. Be about it. I've always nobody I can say when I started something or did something was fully behind anything I've ever done. I do feel like if I have the idea, if you have the vision, you know it. You may not know exactly how to do it, but you can figure out how to get there. Write it down. Make sure that even talk amongst it. What don't hold these ideas inside. And even if it's something as simple as putting in your notes on your phone. Okay, I'm on it. I'm gonna get to this. Blah blah blah. Just put it somewhere because you'll forget it. Then you be like, damn, he done did my idea already.
But I think the real obstacle to that is people are too scared to fail. Right. I failed at a lot of things in my life.
There's nothing wrong with failing.
I failed at a lot of things in my life, but like Jordan said, I had to lose to learn how to win. So like every idea ain't gonna be the best, and somebody might be able to take your idea and do something better with it.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you owe it to yourself to not try is worse than failing. To me,
you don't miss a shot you don't take.
Yeah, so go ahead and try it. Talk to some people. You can learn lessons trying it versus because everybody tell you what you can and what you can't do. Oh yeah, you got this and that. Nobody when I told my mom I want to open a coffee shop, she was like, "Why? People in the hikes don't drink coffee." I said, "How you know?"
I told you I don't answer why the people do it. Like I don't like if you can't I don't owe you no answer.
I love why.
I don't like it at all.
You know why? Because I can put something together that nobody else saw.
No, but look at it like this, right? Like when I say I'm like if you're putting the money up or if you're the supporting cast for it, then yeah, I mean I'm all for it. But I don't think that you deserve to ask me why. If this is my I mean you could break it down and be like, hey, this is my coffee shop, this is what I want to do, this is the amount of people I want to hit, this is what I feel like I can do on a daily basis, weekly, monthly, etc. 3, 6, 9 months. But at the same time, people want answers for something that they're not involved with. Like it's not your place to question. Like say you say the coffee shop, right? I can sit up here and ask you well, why would you do a coffee shop? You could do a da 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 shop, da da da. No, you had I feel like sometimes it's lack of confidence in people. Or it's lack of confidence in themselves, and then it's lack of confidence in you because they don't have that people automatically put themselves in your shoes with their thoughts.
If you can do it, I can do it. That's what they think. Yeah. And if I say I can't do it, you can't do it.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I'm all for it because to me, you don't have to believe. I can show you better than I can tell you. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying. Why to have that why is what I'm saying. If I feel like when you ask the why, you're trying to put doubt in me, and I'm already built a certain way that as soon as if I tell you, Brian, I'm creating a coffee shop. I've ran through every single scenario in my head already on what it takes to do this, and and that's what I'm saying. You have done it already, so I don't need to ask you why you're doing a coffee shop, doing a shop. I don't need to ask you those questions because I know that you've already the way that your brain works. Not to say I know how your brain works, but I know how you execute things. So when you're doing something, you're doing it based off of research, analytics, etc., to make it a successful business.
Yeah, there's definitely not just faith in it. There's definitely some numbers in it, and then there's definitely
but why do you believe in God?
A
Look at that. Why do you believe in God?
Yeah. I mean, believe in
But you
faith is
believe,
what
but faith,
the
right?
difference, right?
So
Yeah.
you got to have faith in me that you don't need to ask the why. I already know what I'm doing. So if you're not putting up any money,
Yeah. Oh,
if you're putting up, if you say, hey, look, Sean, you are a 25% investor, so I'm gonna need 50,000. I'm gonna need however much money. I'm gonna be like, where is this money? That's why I can ask the why.
yeah. Yeah.
And even still, I wouldn't need to ask the why because I already have the belief or faith that what you're telling me that you're going to execute will be successful.
Yeah. And so the other barrier to entry is ask people for money. But when you ask people for money, know what you're offering, right? So like what Shante just brought up. I say, hey Sean, I need a $10,000 investment. In 6 months, you get 6% back. Anything on the market that you can do that's doing that. If not, let me get the 10. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you have your 6% back by in 6 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's me. No, and he can ask me what he invested in. Hey, it's one of these real estate projects that I got, and I'm
Yeah,
basically raising $80,000
but
for
I
it,
don't
right?
need to ask you how you're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's cool. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
but that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
I'm saying
But
people are asking you how you're doing it, and they ain't got no investment in
and
it, with the exception
yeah,
of
yeah,
blood
and then
or I know you. You know.
yeah, but you know what? It's valid, but like at the same time, like you said, I don't have to answer no. I don't have to answer
That
no
part too.
question.
I tell people you don't have to answer every
Yeah,
question.
you don't have to answer every question, and then
I can just tell you no, and that's okay.
yeah, it's okay.
I don't want to talk about it.
You want to do it or not? Like you
Yeah.
want to invest this money
You
or
want to
not?
put some
So
money up with me?
don't let the money be your barrier because what
Mhm.
I do see is that immigrants can see, hey, they can get this money, flip this money, and bring it back.
Mhm.
I have, I shoot, just probably yesterday I spent some credit card money that I'm flipping and getting back in the next 30 days. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, it's a credit card. These trucks all made the money to pay for it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So ask for the money and use it.
Yeah. I mean, you could do something. I mean, that investment. Yes, I was like, when you talked about it on Friday, I was like, damn, that's probably a good thing because I consider, buying trucks just for DJing and stuff. But I'm just like, just to not put that wear and tear on my car. So, but I'm saying you could capitalize on that on so many different ways. We ain't got to go into the full details, but I mean, stuff such as, hey, go move, do that $60 a day, whatever. You could do your, cause you guys, that's funny that when you had went, I mean, not funny because it fucked up how we were moving shit out of the house. But when you said you went to pick up the truck to rent, and you was like, there wasn't no trucks there. It's like, well, shoot. I mean, I feel like it ran through your head a little bit differently than what it would somebody else. Like somebody else would have looked at it. Not everybody, but some people would have thought of it like, oh, that fucked up. Get this shit out of here. You looked
Yeah,
at it like as an opportunity. Like, well, let me see if I can get some trucks because if trucks are always going here, then I could do
it's
the
a
same
market.
thing,
Yeah, yeah, it's
with
definitely a
mine.
market in there.
So
So yeah, go to get a U-Haul truck and it's not there, go buy one, and
yep.
then say, hey, look, U-Haul for rent. And like I said, they make money off the gas,
Mm-hmm.
they make money off the mileage. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you can always use a truck.
Yep.
So, you know,
I mean, nigga, you got two of them.
yeah,
So I mean,
yeah,
like it ain't like you can you could do that the way that you want to do it as a business. Like
yeah,
you could do it based off of your shop. You could do it based off of. You could do it in multiple ways. Is what I'm saying.
yeah. So
Yep.
we come pick you up for $130, drop you off for
Yep.
$150. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
yeah, but life is
Provide movers, shit. You do all that shit. Put somebody with the truck.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Because
you got this person for 50 or 75 an hour. You got the truck for. I don't want to give away the game plan, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so many ways that you can take the opportunity that you moved forward with yesterday. But not anything against your moms or anything like that. But and I don't know if this was a thing, but she could have easily been like, "Why are you buying a truck?"
yeah, she was ready for that. She was like, I got some ideas that I might want to run by you.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
I'm saying,
yeah.
people can always have a reason to question you, not like it's
Yeah.
like with your
She
mom,
was
but
like, you
but
broke? Why
people,
you buying a truck?
yeah,
Right? And I'm like, yeah, because I'm broke. I can't buy a truck.
yeah.
And then
So
how that makes sense? You got
it don't have to make sense to you. Is the thing. Like life doesn't have to make sense to everybody.
But everybody don't understand assets and liabilities either. You know what I'm saying? And so like
But I can't explain to you the game if you don't want to learn it.
yeah, but you know what? Some people don't even know
But
where
the
to
game's to
start.
be sold, not to be told. What was it?
Yeah, the game. Too short. The
Yeah.
game's to be sold, not to be told. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little thing like explaining someone the game if they don't want it. It's
They ain't
like
gonna get it anyway.
so why am I?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
again, that's going to tell people what you do and what you want to do. They don't get it. They won't get it all the way. They be like,
Mhm.
oh, I kind of get it, and maybe they got a like with the cereal bar,
Mhm.
like I don't think they had different milks there, and like I was like, that's kind of
You get
cool.
some
That
Cambodian milk.
hey, goat's milk. I didn't think people drink goat milk, but they drink goat milk. I
Yeah,
eat
I
goat
drink
cheese,
I
right?
drink almond milk. I don't even drink regular milk.
You don't even drink regular milk.
Just almond milk.
Duh, I can't put almond milk and macaroni and cheese.
Nah, no, okay. So I don't eat macaroni and cheese.
You don't eat macaroni and cheese?
Not no more.
None?
Nah, with the keto, no, I don't do none of that.
Oh shit, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but the thing is, if I was to make like I made macaroni and cheese for people,
Uh-huh.
and I'm making it regular. Like,
Okay.
yeah, I'm not downsizing that. Like, it's just cereal that I do the almond milk in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
see,
it ain't. Yeah,
So I buy
but I'm not.
almond
But I'm
milk
not
just-
cooking like. I'm not gonna bake a cake
yeah.
or anything like that and put almond milk in it. Like
The
certain.
cake ain't bad. So it's certain things that
I'm
like,
not substituting regular. I'm not substituting eggs. I'm not substituting milk.
man. So
I mean, milk isn't that bad. It's
Milk
just
tear my stomach up at times. So that's why one of the
Mhm.
reasons why I do oat and almond milk, whichever one is on sale at Publix.
Yep.
It's usually buy one get one free. So I
Yep.
mess with that.
$2.79.
And it lasts in the what you call it.
That shit
But
more
let's-
expensive here. I don't understand.
Let's just be real though, because we got dairy farms right down the street. So why wouldn't it be? Yeah,
Mhm.
you don't got nuts down the street.
That's true. That's true. Shit, let's get a dairy farm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm down. Definitely down with it.
Look, farming. I don't know that full industry, but we all got to eat.
Yeah, we all
You-
got
you
it.
can't- you
It's
can't-
only
you can't-
expanding.
Look, you can't replace food. Like you,
Yeah, it's only expanding.
ain't no internet substitution for food.
Right. Right. But I mean, almond milk is really just nut juice, right?
Well, I don't know it's the type of juice that
But see,
I thought.
see that's the great part. But they had to label it almond milk because, like, if anything, like they squeeze in the heck out of some nuts to get the juice out of it, and I can't see them calling it all.
They ain't squeezed my nuts. My nuts got no squeezing.
All right. All right, well, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna get out of here on that note, man.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for having me.
Yes, sir. Thank you, cuz. Like I said, I was trying to make sure that since we was in town together, it was a good time that we was able to get in the same space. So,
Occupy the same space at the same time. This is cool.
shit, we've been moving stuff around like this house like last couple of days, trying to get everything
Man,
together for my mom and stuff. So, I mean, I appreciate that part because that was exhausting. You got the trucks, we was able to get everything to the dump. That cost more money, and but all that being said, is we got a good amount done, and there's still more to do. But I appreciate you coming through.
All that's being said is family is family. Like you and I tell people all the time, like they be like, man, family, my family ain't. But if you ain't gonna be the family that you want to see, you can't complain about it.
Yeah, I don't fuck with
You know what I'm
everybody in
saying?
the family. Like,
but no,
I mean, I'm saying the family that that's
Yeah.
like enrich those relationships, and then like not discount, but like focus on the ones that make sense.
Right.
Like, don't focus on the ones where you got to worry about if they come in your house, they go steal some
but
shit.
also be that person you want to see, right? So like
Mhm.
like Sean, you go and visit our elders, right? You go and visit the aunties and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That's something that takes an effort. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes an effort to be somebody, to be the cousin, be like, yo, I'll come help. It takes some effort to be like, yo, what you got going on? It takes an effort to say, hey, I know these are my little cousins. They can roll with me,
Mhm.
like embellish your relationships, and family is where you start at. Like I told people all the time, it's very hard for me to see me being successful if I can't have my family come with me. And I say that it's being like the wives and stuff like that, and like they sometimes they just don't know and they don't figure it out. They don't know what being rude is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my grandson said, she fat. And I'm like, dang, dude, you can't say stuff like that.
Hmm.
It's the truth. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But you got to be more. You got to be more
And we just in
tactful
that time. We
around it,
can't
right?
say people fat no more.
Well,
Where
I
people
mean,
be fat and they need to get their
and
ass and do
pointing,
some
yeah,
shit
yeah,
instead of complaining about I need to lose weight
yeah,
and stuff
that's
like that. I
right.
tell people all the time,
I've
like,
been running all the way.
I mean, you good, but I'm saying it's shit, nigga. I sent you photos, nigga. I was big and I was working out. You know what I'm saying? I can figure out how to goddamn get to the point where I'm at now. And I was like, well, shit, I got to switch up the eating. I got to do that. Like, I'm just saying, like, we've created terms for people now that it's because it feels insensitive to say, oh, you're fat or you're. I mean, there's some ugly people out there too,
What is
but it's like, but
it?
that's all based off of your judgment
Because you
of
can't say
visuals.
homeless, you say unhoused. So like, so they too fed.
You're a
Is that?
hobosexual.
But you know what I'm saying? They say unhoused instead of
I mean, you can't
homeless.
say midgets. You can't say. I mean,
You can say it, but and then like
it depends on the person
being
that hears it
tactful,
and
like
being it depends on that
and
you midget is like
yeah,
how you
yeah,
say things, you
it's the
know.
mannerisms behind it, right?
Yeah.
Because my grandson didn't mean nothing being like, dang, she fat,
No, she's
but
just bigger than he is.
a lot bigger. But you know, you teach people how to be more tactful, and so like that's my mom and stuff, and like you have to bring them around. They
Hmm.
might not come around because old people, and I'm older now, so like I
Hmm.
get it. Like I don't understand this new age way of doing stuff.
Hmm.
My way is get out there and do it, and the young folks is like, but I want to think about doing it before I do it. How long did that take? You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
like, whatever, do what you do.
No, but I mean, you got to find a like you say that scenario. You got to find the fine line of doing one versus like thinking about it. And I mean, because I mean, we definitely the way that your brain processes definitely processes different than someone that's younger than you, right? So you're
Right.
saying they got to think about it. You're saying I've already thought about it. Let's do it. You know, so it's like two different ways of thinking that you have to find a balance.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
it's whatever. I'm at my old get off my lawn stage where it's like you either here or you're not. So
that's fine. I
if
mean,
you ready to
You
roll,
got Eddie that's directly with that. Like
yeah,
Eddie has a get off my lawn.
yeah,
Look, this is how I think, and that's fine. I mean, if you can execute within that, like I said, I let him be him when we record. I let whoever. I mean, I record with you. Like, I'm not gonna say, well, you have to do it like this. Like, no. I mean, we have our list of topics, and you say how you feel. You be like, hey, look, Sean explain this a little bit more. I'll be like, Brian explain this a little bit. Like, it's a good balance
yeah.
of understanding of being able to convey the message.
Man, because I got Eddie has an art to it. He can shut stuff down. Like Eddie says, I say something in 13 words. Eddie can say it in three,
Yeah.
and then it's like, and then he like, you want more? I ain't got more. So, uh, but that is a skill to
But I
just be
told you I
able.
had to learn how to say no. Like I learned how to say no from Aunt Alice. You know, she asked for something, she said no, and I was like, why? She's like, don't ask me why.
Man, that's weird that you said Aunt Alice was the mean one.
No, she
Like I
wasn't
thought.
mean,
No, I mean saying
I'm
she was saying she was
but like when
mean. Yeah,
somebody saying no to
but
you, you almost
I mean,
automatically
what
feel
you
like they're
asking
mean.
for? That she said no to drive a Camaro?
Nah,
Oh,
I was like 6 or 5 years old,
okay.
and
Cause,
she let me drive the
cause,
Camaro. I had the Camaro at state.
oh,
Yeah, nah,
for real? Okay.
hell, I took her Cadillac to prom. You know, like
Oh yeah, you did take a guy like the
yeah.
prom. Yeah, because we
So
was
hell, I
going.
took a Camaro to what was that Christmas dance or whatever shit.
You went to
So
the Christmas dance in the blue Camaro.
it was either it was either that or I might have did a Cadillac twice because I had a Camaro at state. Um,
It was like she used to love that Camaro. So
yeah, no,
I
I had the
never.
Camaro at state. So during Greek picnic the first year or whatever. So, but cool. All right, well, thank you all for tuning in to the Reality or Not podcast with DJ Reality and Brian Quincy from Nothing New Under the Sun. Appreciate it. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment. Don't leave a comment. I don't give a
Yeah,
shit. So
if you mad at something I said, if it like I know the I'm not declaring anybody gay.
tell them why you mad.com. Yeah, no, I think Vince actually came out, but yeah, it's like shit, like I told you, you suck a dick, cool. You eat pussy, cool. You eat ass, whatever. I don't
Do
But
both.
I
You
don't
still gay,
subscribe
right?
to it. But I mean, if you want to do that shit or lick somebody back, I mean, do whatever you want to do. Appreciate you all
That's the
tuning in.
thing. Look in the back. Oh
I mean,
man,
look,
it's,
niggas be putting gerbils in their ass and like you never know
that was
what
that. Yeah,
somebody
that wasn't that an urban myth.
that people put gerbils in their ass.
Yeah,
Nah, that shit is it has a title.
yeah, but I thought that was like an urban myth because like that was our senior year of high school. And they were talking about that.
Are you talking about that somebody that we knew put a gerbil in their ass?
I don't subscribe. So
$50,000 a month. Where that gerbil at? What up, Blake? Oh shit!
All right, so
But thank you all for listening in. Appreciate you all. Talk to you soon. Thanks for jumping in, Brian. I appreciate you, and to see you next week.
peace.
Peace.